Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal, and you are watching the Mojo story. This is a special transmission about the workers who are trapped in the tunnel in Uttarakhand. They are being brought out one by one. So far, 35 workers have been taken out from that tunnel where they were stuck for the last 17 days. There are a total of 41 workers who were stuck in that tunnel for 17 days. All the efforts were put in place. A multi agency uh, action plan was put in place to ensure that all those workers are brought out safely. It was a long and cumbersome process. There were many plans that were put into action: Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and finally, they have been brought out after a hole was made through the debris. A pipe was inserted, and they were brought out one by one. Now, earlier in the day, General Atta Hasnan, who briefed the media, said that it could take some more time as there were still a couple of meters of the debris left that need to be a board need to be made in that to bring out the workers. But now all that has been done and all the workers have been brought out. Now we can confirm to you that all the workers have been brought out. 41 workers have been brought out who were stuck in that tunnel. They were received by Union Minister V.K. Singh and the Chief Minister. We can play actually those shots where they were met by the Chief Minister and the Union Minister once they were taken out. If we can use those visuals, we'll try and use them in a bit, but those are the visuals from the site. You can see that there are all the preparations that have been done. In fact, what happens here on, they'll be given first aid and moved to the hospital. A proper medical examination will be conducted. Remember, they have been inside that tunnel in a dark place for 17 days. So proper procedures will be followed, medical procedures, so that they slowly come back to the real world. They haven't seen sunlight for all those days, so of course it will take some time. But I was saying that General Hasnan, who briefed the media, said that a team of NDRF men, those are the visuals, those are the workers who are being brought out. You can see them being patted on the back by the Chief Minister who was present there, the Union Minister V.K. Singh also there. All the hard work, all the efforts have paid off. People are cheering their rescue. They have finally been rescued from that tunnel. It was a long and arduous procedure that was followed. The ordeal that not only the workers went through, but the entire staff and the agencies were involved in that rescue operation. Prime Minister Modi has been constantly being in touch with the Chief Minister and also monitoring the efforts for their release. And we're told that he has been briefed about their rescue now. You can see on those pictures, that's the Chief Minister. Of course, he's at the site. He reached there in the afternoon and has been there ever since. Uh, Earlier in the day, it was said that a breakthrough has been made, but that was later. General Hasnan said that it would take some more time. But finally, all those 41 workers were trapped in that tunnel, having rescued and brought out, thanks to the hard work and efforts by all the men from different agencies. Remember, it was a long procedure, long process. There was special equipment that was brought there, the auger machine, the American auger machine, but even that did not work. It broke down when that hole was made, and then the parts of that broken machine had to be taken out. So it was clearly a very complicated procedure. Now you can see from those images the different procedures that were employed. People moved in, those NDRF men moved in, and they had those cutters and they dug manually. They have been digging for more than 12 hours, and you can see a glimpse of that. They're moving out that earth which they had dug inside that tunnel, that the problem was the debris and the frame, the steel frame that had got entangled with the debris. And that was the reason that those machines could not really break through. And besides the horizontal plan of action, there was a vertical plan of action also being thought about, a vertical sort of a hole to be made in the tunnel. If, as General Hasnan had said, if Plan A did not work, there were other plans also put in place. All the efforts were made to ensure that the workers are brought out and brought out safely. That's exactly what has happened. It's a clear example of a multi-agency coordinated effort that resulted in the rescue of all those workers who were stuck in that tunnel for 17 days. In fact, Lieutenant General Atta Hasnan said that all the agencies were involved in this rescue mission. The railways have an expertise in making tunnels. They were the first ones that were approached by the authorities out there, and then one by one, all the agencies chipped in. And finally, it was a collective effort under one umbrella that resulted in the release of all those men stuck in the tunnel for 17 days. And this has really brought happiness not only for all those who are involved in this rescue mission, but people across the country who have been watching this news for all these 17 days and praying that all these men would be taken out safely. The focus has been on their rescue so far, but clearly the investigations will begin after that. Questions will be asked that what led to the collapse of the tunnel in the first place. There was an escape tunnel also in the schedule to be made. Where is that escape tunnel? All those questions will be asked and accountability will be fixed. But for now, the entire focus of the administration has been on the rescue mission, and they have succeeded in that. They have brought out all those 41 men safely out of that tunnel. Remember, the first when the contact was established with all those workers 17 days ago on the Diwali day, it was through a walkie-talkie, and then the first priority was to send oxygen through the pipe, through the small pipe that was there, which was done, and finally food packets were sent through that pipe only. Communication was established, and those workers could, in fact, talk to their relatives, and that really brought a sigh of relief when people could hear them and see their visuals. Finally, it all the efforts were made right from the top, right from the Prime Minister, who have been clearly monitoring this entire operation, to the Chief Minister, to different agencies. All of them came together to ensure that all those workers stuck inside that tunnel are being brought out. Now they will be moved to the hospital, and then they will be reunited with their family members who have been waiting there at the site for all these days. Initially, there was some report that they were protesting. Clearly, they were very anxious. It was thought that it will not take this long, but it did take so long. You can see one of the workers, in fact, meeting with Union Minister V.K. Singh, who has been at the spot most of this time during this operation. In fact, when he went there initially, he said that it will take 3 to 4 days, but it's taken much more than that. One of the reasons that it's taken so long is that all the efforts were also made to ensure that the workers remain safe inside the tunnel. And it was not just a rescue operation that had to be carried out to reach the workers, but it was also to ensure their safety and they be brought out safely outside of that tunnel, which has now been done. All of them have been taken out. In fact, you can see from those visuals, they are happy and smiling, and they seem to be in high spirits. Of course, they knew that all efforts are being made for their release, which has now been done. All the agencies came together to ensure to ensure their release, and they have now been released and brought out. All these 41 workers who are stuck in that tunnel in Uttarakhand have now been rescued. They have been moved out, and they will be taken to the hospital. Their first aid that will be done on them, and they'll be taken to the hospital, and then they will be meeting with their family members. But for now, they are received by the chief minister, by the union minister, just outside the tunnel when they are being brought out. Remember, it was a collective effort by the SDRF, by the local authorities, local administration, and the NDRF, which ensured that a collective joint operation is launched and carried out so that all those workers are brought out safely. There were ambulances which are on a standby just outside the tunnel so that all of them could be moved out to the hospital. The details that were given in the press conference, that everything was ready in the hospital, even a small makeshift sort of arrangement of 10 beds was done at the spot, at the site itself. So all those measures were put in place in the day. Oxygen was also brought in when they were stuck in the tunnel. But finally, they have been moved out. You can see from those visuals. This has happened today. About an hour ago, this mission was sort of accomplished, and all of them were taken out safely, one by one, brought out and moved to the first aid and to the hospital, and where from they will be finally reunited with their family. So this has brought extreme happiness to the people across the country who have been watching this news story with a bated breath for all these days, praying for their safe rescue, and praying that this operation is conducted soon and all of them are moved out safely from that tunnel. They have been in that tunnel for 17 long days in the dark, hoping and praying that they would be taken out safely. And that moment of joy has now come. They have been moved out of that tunnel, all 41 of them. You can see earlier in the day, those are NDRF men who were showing victory signs. That was earlier in the day, and that clearly uh, gave a signal that the mission is very soon to be accomplished, to be completed, and that's precisely what has happened. A few hours later, that's been completed. You can see those NDRF men moving with stretchers and the ropes and other equipment inside the tunnel. This was the last leg of the operation when a final push was made to take the workers out, and that's precisely what has happened. They have been moved out. Remember that the last digging was done manually for more than 12 hours. There was men inside that tunnel who were digging manually to make that hole, to make that bore where from that pipe was inserted, and they were taken out. Of course, man had moved inside, crawling inside the pipe, and they were taken out on the stretchers. This is the manual digging that was done. That was moved out all this earth that was dug manually, and that was taken out. So clearly, this is the big story at this point in time. All those rescue workers, all those workers who are trapped in the tunnel have been rescued and moved out safely. You can see from those visuals, those are the men who were stuck in that tunnel for 17 days, now moved out to safety and will soon be reunited with their loved ones who have actually been camping at the site of the tunnel all these days, and hoping that this operation would be concluded soon. And now it has actually concluded, and all of them have been brought out safely. So this is the story that we are tracking, that 41 workers who were trapped inside that tunnel in Uttarakhand have now been moved out safely. The rescue operation has been completed. It was a multi-agency rescue operation that involved SDRF, NDRF, local um, administration, the army had also come in, the railways, all the agencies were involved in this mission, and that mission has now completed. All of them, 41 workers who were stuck in that tunnel, have been taken out after 17 long days. They were stuck there. A communication was established with them, and but it has been a long ordeal for all these men who were trapped in the tunnel, and also for the rescue agencies who were working day and night for their release. You can see those ambulances at the spot. Of course, everything was kept on a standby. Once these men are taken out, once these workers are taken out, then they could immediately be moved to a health center, to a hospital, where they could be administered first aid and they could be given proper treatment. Remember, they have been in that tunnel. Of course, it's a question of orientation. They were in dark, so it will take a long time for them to come back. Of course, that's those all those medical procedures will be done. But you can see from that, those are the visuals earlier in the day. These are men taking mattresses inside the tunnel. No effort was spared to bring out all these men safely out of that tunnel. That mission has now been accomplished. They have been moved out of the tunnel. Of course, uh, we would expect that there would be another briefing soon, where there will be an announcement, or will be made, that how exactly this operation culminated. But you can see from those visuals, these are SDRF men who were taking these mattresses inside. That is in the day when the this rescue operation was still ongoing. But finally, it has culminated. All the 41 men who were trapped inside have been brought out safely through a multi agency rescue mission that involved the SDRF, the NDRF, the railways, and other agencies. Now, this is that pipe that was inserted, and you can see one of the NDRF men, one of the rescue person who conducted that rescue. They were inside. This is the pictures. These are the photos of the workers who are moving out. You can see that is one of the worker actually coming out from that pipe. This is a picture of a worker coming out. One by one, they came out. Earlier in the day, General Hassan had said that it will take 3 to 4 minutes for each one of them to be brought out. So the operation will be conducted in about 2 hours, but it was completed in less than 2 hours, and all of these workers were brought out safely one by one from that tunnel. 41 of them, 41 workers have been rescued. Just to recap for our viewers who may have joined just now, 41 workers who were trapped in the tunnel in Uttarakhand have been rescued through a multi-agency rescue mission that's now completed after 17 days. All of them have been brought out. They have been taken out one by one, and this rescue mission has completed. And we told also, Prime Minister Modi has tweeted. Remember, the Prime Minister has been monitoring this entire rescue operation and on a daily basis speaking to the Chief Minister. Those are the visuals that we are getting. All these rescue workers moving out, and they are being received by the Union Minister, by the Chief Minister, and by other people at the tunnel where they are taken out. So clearly they're cheering and everybody is happy. This rescue mission has finally been completed, and all the 41 men who were trapped inside that tunnel have been rescued and moved out to safety. So this is the big story that we are following. The big story that we are following, this rescue mission has completed. All the 41 people who were trapped inside the tunnel are now safely brought out. and they've been taken out, uh, moved out. You can see they are happy and smiling, cheerful faces. Of course, there was this operation all these days. There was a lot of tension, the way that auger machine broke down, other efforts that were made were not successful in the beginning, and it was taking a lot of time. That was really making people very anxious. But finally, the plan has worked. All of them, those laborers who were stuck inside that tunnel, have been safely brought out. Have been safely brought out. They will be now reunited with their family members. Uh, so Prime Minister Modi, who has been monitoring this entire operation, has now tweeted and said the success of he said the success of the rescue operation of our labor brothers in Uttarkashi is making everyone emotional. I want to say to the friends who are trapped in the tunnel that your courage and patience is inspiring everyone. I wish you all well and good health. It's a matter of great satisfaction that after a long wait, these friends of ours will now meet their loved ones. The patience and courage that all these families have shown in this challenging time cannot be appreciated enough. I also saluted the spirit of all the people associated with the rescue operation. His bravery and determination have given new life to our labor brothers. Everyone involved in this mission has set an amazing example of humanity and teamwork. That's Prime Minister Modi clearly tweeting about this entire operation. He has been monitoring it on a daily basis and speaking to the chief minister every day. And finally, at the culmination of this rescue operation, he has actually tweeted and saluted the courage of all these workers who were stuck in that tunnel for 17 long days. So the story that we are tracking is that the operation to bring out all those 41 men stuck inside the tunnel has now completed. All of them have been brought out safely. They're being moved to the hospital. They will be administered first aid. There were ambulances that are on a standby, and all the preparations were made. Earlier in the day, General Hasnan gave a press conference. He said that it was still a couple of meters left for the breakthrough to be achieved, and then that breakthrough happened in the evening. And one by one, all these people who were stuck in the tunnel were moved out. We saw from those visuals people, men from NDRF going in with ropes and other equipment. Of course, that was all done in the last leg of the operation to move out all those workers who were stranded in the tunnel for 17 days. So the rescue operation, the hard work put in by all the men on the ground has finally paid off, and 41 workers who were stuck in that tunnel for 17 days have now been rescued and brought out one by one to safety. They will be taken to the hospital. They're already taken to the hospital, and now they will be reunited with their family members. Monitoring that operation on the ground, Union Minister VK Singh and the chief minister, they were the ones who received these 41 workers when they were brought out from the tunnel one by one, and it was a very emotional moment, and people were celebrating and cheering. Of course, it's a big effort that is finally being made for the release of for the rescue of these 41 workers, and that's now being done. All the 41 workers were trapped in that tunnel for 17 days have been rescued out of that tunnel. It's a successful operation, but it was a long operation. There were many twists and turns in their operation, many challenges that they encountered, but all those challenges were surmounted in the end, and all those people who were stuck in the tunnel were rescued and they are moved to safety. This operation has now, the rescue operation has ended. On your screen, you can see the tweet of Prime Minister Modi. In fact, Prime Minister Modi has been monitoring this entire operation, and been in touch with the agencies and the chief minister. And finally, this operation has ended, and Prime Minister Modi has, in fact, spoken about the patience and courage of all these men who were in that uh, in that tunnel, their families in this challenging time. He's appreciated that and the spirit of all the people who are associated with that rescue operation. He's spoken about their bravery and determination, and clearly everybody who was involved in this mission to bring out these men, these workers, 41 of them, out of that tunnel to safety. That has happened now. The rescue operation has ended. It was a multi-agency rescue operation. Those are the visuals earlier in the day. Now this is the visual of the hospital, the beds that are waiting for these workers. Everything was kept ready and on a standby. You can see from those visuals, in fact, there were arrangements made at the district hospital, and also a makeshift sort of a medical center was set up right outside the tunnel. Everything was kept ready for these workers who are stuck in the tunnel. And now you can see from those pictures on the screen, they are brought out and they are being welcomed by the chief minister and the union minister. And this operation has in fact ended. The rescue operation has ended, and all the 41 people have been brought out safely. So that is the news that we have been tracking, that all the people, all those workers who were stuck in the tunnel have now been safely brought out. And these are the visuals, these are the latest visuals that we're getting from the site. They are being welcomed by the union minister and the chief minister and other people who were just waiting for them all these days. They have been spearheading this mission of rescuing these 41 workers who were stuck in the tunnel earlier in the day. This is the photograph that was released earlier in the day. All those NDRF men showing victory signs. So these are the latest visuals you can see on the screen. The ambulances are moving out with all those workers. You can see from those visuals, the workers are inside that and those ambulances, and those ambulances are moving to the health center where proper examination of all those workers stranded in the tunnel for 17 days will be done. So this operation has finally culminated. After 17 days, 41 workers were stranded inside that tunnel have now been rescued and they are being taken to the health center. This is the big story that we have been tracking through the day and all these days, and we will of course be tracking it here on. Also, we do expect that there would be an official briefing where more information will be given about the rescue operation and how it culminated in the end. But for now, the news is that all the 41 workers who were stuck in the tunnel have been rescued and they are being taken to the medical center. We'll keep a track of this story. But for now, thanks so much for watching the Mojo story.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, Spread the word and thank you for your support.